Hey toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting outrageous toy review. Today we're taking a look at the DC Multiverse Harley Quinn figure made by McFarlane Toys. McFarlane's line of multiverse figures features DC superheroes and villains from all over the DC Multiverse. That means we can get movie characters, cartoon characters, comic book characters, rare alternate versions, all in one toy line. I previously reviewed Batman based on the animated series. You can check that video out here on the channel. I had some good and bad things to say about that figure, and today I'm going to take a look at Harley Quinn, who also appears to be based on her appearance in the animated series. This figure is labeled as Harley Quinn Classic. Oddly enough, they're using artwork from the comic for this figure, even though I feel like she's got a very animated appearance to her sculpt. The back of the package also shows off some of the other characters in this line. Here we have Harley Quinn out of the package, and just like the Batman figure from this line, I have noticed some positives and some negatives almost immediately without really playing with the toy. As I noticed when she was still in the package, the face sculpt is very Batman the Animated Series reminiscent. You can almost hear that squeaky voice, Mr. J, coming out of her mouth. But then other parts of her body have a little bit more detail to them that make them seem less animated. For instance, the ruffles on her sleeves and the additional diamonds on her uniform don't really match the cartoon exactly. This line definitely appears to be aimed at collectors, and they seem to be touting the articulation on the package quite a bit. Harley Quinn has a ball joint at the head that allows her head to look up and down and around. She has ball joints at the shoulders that move forward, backwards, and out to the side. She has a swivel at the bicep below that. She has double jointed elbows. She has a twist at the wrist, as well as a rocker joint there. The articulation seems to be consistent on both sides of her. She has a pivot joint in the upper chest area, as well as one at the waist. It's a little bit odd because they're so close to each other. I almost just get the upper part to move more than the center section when I try to twist those two articulation joints. It's hard to get that center one to move. She has hip joints that move out to the sides and forward. This bodysuit piece that goes over her hips does hinder her articulation a little bit, and her articulation joints are a little bit ugly depending on the pose she's in. Down at the knees, she has double jointed knees for a great range of motion there. She has a hinge joint at the ankle that can also pivot. Pretty much goes any direction you want, so she has a great range of motion at the ankles. She also has articulated toes. I did kind of mention this with the Batman figure, that the toes really, to me, were not that necessary. I'm probably not going to be posing this particular figure in like a track stance. You know, it's not the Flash, who maybe is always going to be in a running pose. She's not as top-heavy as Batman, so maybe the ankle and feet being so articulated is a little bit more useful for her. Harley Quinn comes with a pretty standard-looking black base with a DC logo on it. Her foot can peg into that, and it does definitely help her stand. She has a pretty slender build, but she's not nearly as top-heavy as Batman, so it's slightly less important for this figure. Harley Quinn comes with two other accessories. She has this pistol with the bang symbol sticking out of it. I like this accessory a lot, and I think it works well for an animated series figure, which I feel like is what this figure was really going for. She also comes with a mallet, but I feel like this mallet is very realistic in style. It's got wraps on the handle here. It's got a lot of grain going on with the mallet head. It's got a bullseye paint on one side and the X eyes smiley face on the other side. This is much more comic booky to me than the figure seems to be, and it's very warped the way it came out of the package. So I like the gun more than the mallet, even though a mallet's not a bad accessory for Harley Quinn to come with. I've tried a couple times, but I've had no luck getting this mallet into her hand, even up towards the top where it's a little skinnier. It just doesn't want to fit in her hands, and I don't really want to scrape the paint off her fingers trying to mash this in there and then stretch her hands all out. That, again, is kind of a shame for something designed for collectors. The use and function should be considered a little bit more. The last thing Harley Quinn includes is a little trading card that says Harley Quinn Classic on it here. It features that comic book art that was shown on the back of her package. The backside has a little bit of information here. It says her source is Harley Quinn number 15, DC Comics 2002. Well, that's where this art comes from, but like I said, this face is very animated series. I wish they would kind of get their acts together on that a little bit. So once again, like Batman, Harley Quinn for me is a little bit of a mixed bag. I do think it's a nice looking figure for display if you're looking for an animated series-esque Harley Quinn. She's worth picking up. Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.